what to do when you feel completely burnt out to a point where you are not getting up and going to the gym like you want to. So this is something that has hit me recently. For the past month, I've probably been pretty burnt out. Too much going on, too many fingers and too many pies at once, I think, for my little brain to cope with. So my 5 a.m. alarm was going off and it was not happening. I was not waking up, I wasn't getting out of bed, I wasn't getting in the car, I wasn't going to the gym. None of that was happening. And really, in this situation, which hits a lot of people who work full time, a lot of people who have families to take care of, kids to take care of, bigger responsibilities in their life that they cannot put down just so that they can keep going to the gym. The biggest takeaway for someone for this should be that they don't need to be going at 100 to keep seeing progress or to hold on to the progress that they've already made. You need to accept where you are. If you are burnt out, doing more work, trying harder isn't going to get you out of being burnt out. That's not how it works. You need rest. That is the only thing that's going to help you get past that point. So a big focus for you needs to be accepting where you're at, naming it as burnout or whatever you want to call it for yourself, and moving on. And part of that moving on also includes focusing on the things that you can still control, even when those other things are no longer your priorities. Take, for example, you can't get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. Is there a chance that you could move it? You could do it at lunchtime, you could do it at the end of the day, you could do it fewer times a week, but for longer, but at a different time. Try to think outside of the box. I know it's not your routine, it's not what you're used to, but maybe that is the only thing that will work for you right now. If that is not the case, scrap it. You do not need to be going to the gym if you're burnt out and if you're not going to be able to do it. The whole point of building fitness habits and healthy habits generally is that they're sustainable. Pushing through burnout is not sustainable. That's not going to work. You're just going to put yourself off for even longer. So focus on rest, put the gym on the back burner, and pick for things that you can give effort to. So this may be your nutrition. This might mean that while you're not going to the gym, you're going to make sure you are tracking every single meal, every single snack, every single thing that you eat to make sure that you're hitting your macros, you're staying in a deficit if that's your aim, but you're focused on those whole foods and eating well to recover your body. That is a great aim while you are burnt out, because that kind of aim will also help you to hold on to the progress that you've made previously in the gym. You're not suddenly falling completely off the wagon, eating whatever you want, treating yourself to sweet treats every single night because you're tired and emotional and it's just what your body is telling you that you need and want. You are taking care of your body in the best possible way and you're not going to backtrack completely. It could be other things that you focus on. You could also say, okay, I'm going to focus on nutrition, but I'm also going to focus on just making sure that I get 10,000 steps a day, that I get 8,000 steps a day. Things just to make that little bit of a difference through your day to day while you're not hitting the gym like you normally do. And this could be especially important if one of the reasons you go to the gym is for your mental health. So you can't just cut that out and expect to feel the same. So maybe you have to start thinking about taking lunchtime walks or doing something with your kids just to kind of get your body moving and to get you feeling a little more present. That is another great focus while you cannot get to the gym, just focusing on that movement that you do day to day and keeping it up and not falling backwards. And the other thing that you should be focusing on is just being as kind to yourself as possible. Tough love is all well and good if that is what works for you, but when you are burnt out, that's not going to make a difference. You're physically unable to get up and move the way that you normally would. So someone or yourself telling yourself that you're being lazy isn't going to make a difference and it's not going to help. So be kind to yourself, accept it, focus on what you can, don't focus on what you can't, and keep moving. That way, when you eventually come out the other side of burnout, and you do go back to the gym, you're not feeling like you're starting over, you're not starting from scratch. And that is going to be such a win for you in the future. And on that note, I would probably also suggest that when you do get back to the gym, switch it up, change your routine, really focus on completely switching everything about your gym routine so that it doesn't feel like you're just jumping back to something that almost feels a bit stagnant and boring at this point. You need to just do something different, have a different focus, a different goal. It will just keep you going and it will reignite that spark that you originally felt for the gym that makes you want to keep going back. And that is a big thing because the last thing you want is to get out of burnout, get back to the gym, do 1 or 2 days and then think, this just isn't hitting the way that it used to, but that's because you are so used to what you were doing. Make it exciting again. Give yourself more of a reason to be getting up at 5 a.m. Not just I've got to go work out. Give yourself that excitement for going to work out like you used to have. Just really, really reset it all, and that will make a big, big difference. If you are looking for a coach who understands that people are human and you are not an exercising robot, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and give me a follow on Instagram.